Very good afternoon. You're watching the midday news on Rajya Sabha television. Let us start with the headlines. 2019 is when you elect development for Odisha and India, asserts Prime Minister Modi at a rally in Koraput district. Hits out at Naveen Patnaik-led government for failing to develop Odisha. Prime Minister to also hold public meetings in Telangana's Mehboob Nagar and Kurnool in Andhra Pradesh. Bihar Mahagathbandhan reaches agreement on seat sharing. RJD to contest 19 seats, Congress to contest 9 seats including Patna Sahib. RLSP gets 5 seats, Sharad Yadav to contest from Madhepura and Misa Bharti from Patliputra. 3 encounters in 24 hours. 2 terrorists killed in ongoing encounter between security forces and terrorists in Jammu and Kashmir's Budgam. 4 Jawans also injured. United Nations Security Council adopts resolution to combat terrorist financing. Resolution tells countries to prevent funding for terrorism, especially in its new forms. India calls the UN measure a milestone. And London court to hear Nirav Modi case today. Joint team of CBI and Enforcement Directorate to assist prosecutors in contesting his bail plea. First up, all the news related to the upcoming Lok Sabha and Assembly elections. Today is the last day for the withdrawal of candidature for the second phase of Lok Sabha elections. 97 constituencies spread over 13 states and union territories will go to polls in this phase on the 18th of April. All 39 parliamentary constituencies of Tamil Nadu will go to polls in this phase. Voting will also take place for 14 seats in Karnataka, 10 in Maharashtra, 8 in Uttar Pradesh, 5 seats each in Assam, Bihar and Odisha, 3 seats each in Chhattisgarh and West Bengal, 2 in Jammu and Kashmir, and 1 seat each in Manipur, Tripura and Puducherry. The Lok Sabha elections will start on 11th of April and will continue till 19th of May in 7 phases, and the counting of votes will be held on 23rd of May. And also in Odisha, today is the last day for the withdrawal of candidature for the second phase of 35 assembly seats. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched the BJP's election campaign in eastern part of the country with a rally in Odisha's Koraput district. Addressing a campaign rally in Koraput district, he claimed that both the ruling Biju Janata Dal and the Congress have not worked towards the development of the state. The Prime Minister also slammed the BJP government led by Naveen Patnaik for depriving the poor of their right for quality health care. PM Modi said that the Chief Minister has hardly taken any steps to curb the Naxal problem in neighbouring areas. He said that it is time to elect 5 more years of development for Odisha and India.
2019 का ये चुनाव सिर्फ एक सांसद का चुनाव नहीं है, सिर्फ एक विधायक का चुनाव नहीं है। ये चुनाव केंद्र और राज्य में विकास का डबल इंजन लगाने वाली भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकारों के चुनाव का समय है। ये आने वाले 5 वर्षों में नए ओडिशा और नए भारत के निर्माण का चुनाव है। साथियों, ओडिशा मजबूत तब बनेगा जब यहाँ का आदिवासी, यहाँ का किसान, यहाँ का नौजवान आगे बढ़ेगा। जब यहाँ राज्य में और केंद्र में दोनों ही जगहों पर भारतीय जनता पार्टी की सरकार होगी, तब ये सपना पूरा होगा।
From Odisha, the Prime Minister will travel to Andhra Pradesh and Telangana. In Telangana, Prime Minister will also address a rally in Mehboob-Nagar. The state will witness the first Lok Sabha election after its formation. In Andhra Pradesh, the Prime Minister will address election rally at Kurnool. And the Rashtriya Janata Dal has released its seat-sharing agreement with the Bihar Mahagathbandhan for 40 Lok Sabha seats. RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav said that his party would be contesting on 19 seats in the state for the upcoming Lok Sabha elections, including Bhagalpur, Banka, Mandyapura and Darbhanga. RLSP will contest on 5 seats and the Congress party will contest on 9 seats, including Patna Sahib. Former JDU President Sharad Yadav will be contesting from Madhepura. JDU MLA Sarfaraz Alam from Araria and RJD Chief Lalu Prasad's daughter Meesa Bharti is going to contest from Patliputra. Congress General Secretary for Uttar Pradesh East Priyanka Gandhi Vadra today met with the supporters in Amethi and Raebareli as she embarked on her Ayodhya visit, where she will hold public meetings and road shows. She is also scheduled to offer prayers at the Hanumangadi temple. And earlier, the Congress party released a list of another 12 candidates for the general elections. Congress nominated actress Urmila Matondkar and former Lok Sabha Speaker Meera Kumar from Mumbai North and Bihar's Sasaram parliamentary constituencies, respectively. And it has renominated a sitting MP Ranjit Ranjan from Supaul in Bihar. And with this list, the Congress has so far nominated 305 Lok Sabha candidates. And earlier, Congress party on late Thursday night issued a fresh list of 31 candidates for the Lok Sabha polls. The party fielded Rajasthan Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot's son Vaibhav from Jodhpur and former BJP leader Jaswant Singh's son Manvendra from Badmer. The party's latest list has 19 candidates for Rajasthan and 6 each for Uttar Pradesh and Gujarat. News from Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party on Thursday announced 5 more candidates for the Lok Sabha seats in Uttar Pradesh. The seats for which the candidates have been declared are Moradabad, Bareilly, Unnao, Jhansi and Kushinagar. And so far, the party has announced the names of 27 candidates in the 37 seats that it is contesting in alliance with the Mayawati's Bahujan Samaj Party and Ajit Singh's Rashtriya Lok Dal. In Uttar Pradesh, the elections will be held in 7 phases from 11th of April to 19th of May, and the counting of votes will take place on 23rd of May. And the CPIM released its manifesto for the Lok Sabha polls on Thursday. The manifesto promises to provide unemployment allowance and also enforce a farmer's right to sell their produce at a minimum support price, which is at least 50% higher than the total cost of production. The party manifesto promised a statutory minimum wage of not less than 18,000 rupees per month. The manifesto also promises a universal public distribution system with 35 kilograms of food grains per family.
The strength of the CPIM and the left must be increased in the 17th Lok Sabha. Thirdly, to ensure an alternative secular government to be formed at the centre after the election. And this secular government not only to defend our constitutional republic, which is under severe attack.
News from the northeast of the country, where stage is all set for simultaneous elections in Arunachal Pradesh in the first phase on 11th of April. The present term saw a lot of turncoat politics, with 43 Congress lawmakers pulling down Nabam Tuki government. Our correspondent Vishal Daya spoke with the former Chief Minister Nabam Tuki, who is now contesting both the Assembly and Lok Sabha constituency.
What is your party's strategy? What is it that you're going to the voters with in terms of promises and what you want to do?
Misgovernance of the BJP-led government at the center has been angered the people, entire northeastern region. Therefore, we are going to get benefit out of that because people have full faith on Congress in the region.
The general voter out here is more concerned about infrastructure and corruption being, one of the major issues out here. So how is your party planning to go ahead and, address these issues? Because you've been in power for quite long.
During my time, we made the amendment of Lok Ayukta Act in the state, and it was passed in the state assembly. And till today, it is not implemented by the government, BJP government. By now, it should have been implemented. This was to prevent and to check corruptions. This is only law to check corruptions, which we have made it, honestly.
There are a lot of, allegations and counter-allegations happening between both BJP and Congress. But now that the elections are near, what is your party's stand on the issue of PRC?
That issue was laying pending for quite a long time. And so many joint high power committee was constituted earlier also. It was examining because laws are not applicable.
Okay.
To do that, because the Bengal Eastern Frontier Regulation Act, 1872, is clear that no outsider other than ST, scheduled tribe, can take residence certificate in Arunachal Pradesh.
Okay. So your party will not support the PRC, and that's what your stand is as well?
We never support before also, and will not support in the future until and unless it is amended in the Act of Parliament. So it cannot be happen now.
And on to some other news. Nomination process for the first two phases of Lok Sabha elections concluded on Thursday. A total of 1,216 candidates have filed their nomination for the two phases. Now, according to the Election Commission, 616 valid nominations for the first phase and 600 valid nominations for the second phase have been received. In the last 5 weeks, close to 1 crore names have been added to the voters list. The first and second phase of elections are slated for 11th of April and 18th of April, respectively.
Out of the valid nominations, 493 are the male candidates and female candidates are 45. So in total, we have about 616 valid nominations which have been filed so far. This phase 2, the status is like this. Total nominations filed are 635 for 97 parliamentary constituencies, for which there are 95 for the recognized national parties. For the state parties, there's 16. For other registered parties, the 214. For independents, 253. The male candidates are 538 and the female candidates are 41, totaling 600.
And right now we'll take a very short break. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back after the break. The United Nations Security Council has demanded that all countries should take stringent action to combat the financing of terrorist organizations and to prosecute those funding terrorism. Now, the French drafted resolution passed unanimously on Thursday said that every nation should have laws to prosecute serious criminal offences, the collection of funds, or the provision of resources and services to terrorist organizations or individual militants and enforce them. It also demands that 193 member states ensure that all measures they take to combat terrorism and its financing comply with the international humanitarian human laws and refugee laws. India has called the UN measure a milestone.
Is a scourge that is tearing at the fabric of societies across the globe. It is a menace that is not quarantined to any region. People now live in fear of terrorist threats in countries across the world. Terrorists rely on resources to sustain themselves and their activities across the world. Effective and sustained efforts at countering terrorist financing is at the heart of the issue of addressing terrorism. We therefore welcome this initiative to bring together in a comprehensive manner various existing norms and regulations. It is a milestone in global efforts to set up a normative framework to criminalize terrorist financing. We specifically welcome the recognition in the resolution of the essential role of the Financial Action Task Force in setting global standards, especially in the context of preventing and combating money laundering, terrorist financing, and proliferation financing. As the saying goes, the proof of the pudding is in its eating. The utility of any council resolution will therefore be in its implementation. Non-compliance of crucial sanctions measures in case of UN-proscribed terrorists and entities renders all of us member states at a high risk of facing challenges from these terrorist organizations who are well-funded and armed despite international measures. Terrorists are going to be ever more creative in finding ways to violate the rule book. Also, the unfortunate reality is that states who are apologists for terrorists will continue to provide alibis to justify their actions and inaction too, as was done by a serial offender earlier today. Nevertheless, we, the international community, need to be determined to continue evolving our toolbox and go by our rule book, rather than be distracted and stray from our determination. The global community is impatient for action. Going forward, the UN collectively needs to do more and to do it much more effectively. For its part, India will be a willing partner in this endeavor.
News from Jammu and Kashmir, where 2 terrorists were killed in an ongoing encounter between security forces and terrorists in Sudsu village of Budgam district today. This is the 3rd such encounter in the past 24 hours. 4 terrorists were killed on Thursday. At least 3 more terrorists are believed to be trapped inside a residential building in the area. 4 Jawans have also been injured in the incident. The security forces launched a cordon and search operation in the area. Meanwhile, Pakistan again violated a ceasefire in Krishna Ghati sector of Poonch district. And India has expressed disappointment at Pakistan dismissing a dossier on Pulwama terror attack. India had handed over to Islamabad the dossier on 27th of February to aid investigation into the 14th of February Pulwama attack. However, Pakistan dismissed the dossier, saying that India had not given concrete evidence of the involvement of groups in Pakistan to the Pulwama attack. Pakistan's Foreign Office said that it conducted investigations on the basis of the dossier provided by India, which included a list of 90 members of the proscribed groups and 22 locations of the alleged training camps, but it has established no links to the Pulwama attack. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Ravish Kumar said that regrettably Pakistan continues to be in denial and even refuses to acknowledge Pulwama as a terror attack. He added that it has not shared details of credible action, if any, taken by it against terrorist or terrorist organizations based in territories under its control. Referring to Jaish-e-Mohammed that had claimed responsibility for the attack, Ravish Kumar said that India was disappointed at Pakistan's response to our detailed dossier on the Jaish-e-Mohammed's complicity in the terror attack in Pulwama, the presence of its terror camps and leadership in Pakistan. The MEA said that Pakistan should abide by the commitment that it had given in 2004 when it had vowed not to allow any territory under its control to be used for terrorism against India in any manner, and that Pakistan should take immediate, credible, irreversible and verifiable actions against terrorist and terrorist organizations operating from territories under its control. Remember, at least 40 Indian security personnel were martyred when a suicide bomber rammed a car full of explosives into a bus that they were traveling in Pulwama last month. And the government on Thursday announced that the next census of India will be carried out in 2021 with 1st of March as the reference date of that year. The notification released by the Home Ministry said that the decision has been taken by the government under the powers under Section 3 of the Census Act 1948. However, for Jammu and Kashmir and snowbound non-synchronous areas of states of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, the reference date shall be the first day of October 2020. India's last census was carried out in 2011 when the country's population stood at 121 crore. An online registration for this year's Kailash Mansarovar Yatra will be opened from today. Comprehensive preparations are being carried out for the journey through Kumaon district. It has been decided that at least 18 teams will be sent this year in the proposed trip from the month of June. Each team will have a maximum of 60 devotees. 30th of April is the last date for online application. Ministry of External Affairs organizes Kailash Mansarovar Yatra during June to September every year through 2 different routes. The Yatra is open to eligible Indian citizens holding valid passports who wish to proceed to Kailash Mansarovar for religious purposes. Fugitive diamond merchant Nirav Modi, the main accused in the 13,000 crore rupees Punjab national fraud case, will appear before Westminster Magistrates Court in London today. His legal team will reportedly make another attempt for his bail today after his first application was denied. Nirav Modi was arrested in London on 20th of March and he was produced before the court where he had contested his extradition to India. London court had remanded him to custody till today, saying that there are substantial grounds to believe that he would fail to surrender if he is granted bail. President Ramnath Kovind reached Bolivia today on the second leg of his 3-nation tour. President of Bolivia welcomed Ramnath Kovind and he was accorded Guard of Honor at the airport in Santa Cruz. President Kovind said that this is a historic day in the Indo-Bolivia bilateral relations. During his 3-day visit to Bolivia, the president will hold delegation-level talks with his Bolivian counterpart. He will also participate in India-Bolivia Business Forum meeting and he will also interact with the students at the university in Santa Cruz. The top international news, the UK Parliament will vote on Friday on Theresa May's Brexit deal for a 3rd time. However, the British MPs will be asked to vote only on a part of the deal that was negotiated with the European Union. The government had decided to split the withdrawal agreement, which sets the divorce terms from its associated political declaration, which deals with the future relationship between the UK and the European Union. The MPs will today only vote on the withdrawal agreement. But it will not amount to a 3rd meaningful vote on the deal, as it will not include a vote on the UK's future relationship with the EU. British Prime Minister Theresa May has said that she will stand down if her deal is approved by Parliament. If May deal is passed, then on 22nd of May, the UK will leave the European Union. May will then set out a timetable for her departure and the focus will then shift to the two sides' future relationship. However, if Theresa May's deal fails again, then the UK will find itself at crossroads. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.